Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Young Well and Free, and today I'm back with another speed build, this time with a voiceover again. It has been a long while since the last voiceover I did, but I really wanted to try it out again. I'm still not very sure what most of you prefer, a speed build with music or a speed build with a voiceover. So if you do have an opinion on that matter, then I would love to hear it. But for now I'm just gonna try some voiceovers on my next couple of builds again, just to see if I'm able to keep up with it. Now as for this build, it has taken me so insane long to finish it. Both building, furnishing and editing. That's also the reason why I made this stop motion video again, just to be able to keep it as short as possible. It still didn't end up too short, but if I had made it into a regular speed build, then it might have taken me multiple parts to show off the entire house and also an entirely high speed. So yeah. As of the size of this mansion, it is of course built on a 64 by 64 lot in Brindleton Bay, and it had turned out really big, with a lot of different rooms. This is also why it took me so long to finish it, because the size was just very overwhelming sometimes. Shape-wise, this mansion is based on some pictures that I found on either Google or Pinterest, I'm not sure anymore which one, but I had saved them to my PC on the 3rd of January, and I've been working on this mansion ever since. The only inspiration I took from the picture was the shape at the front and this right side, like the garage area, I think. The back I kind of made up myself, since the original picture had some split leveling going on and I wasn't feeling that bit. When I did get the shape the way I wanted, I never really looked back to the pictures anymore, so I just came up with all the landscape and decorations along the way, since it's just the easiest way to do, or to make it work in The Sims, in my opinion. And right before Island Living came out, I did continue this build a bit more effectively, meaning I actually took the time and sat down and did the landscaping and the floor panning. But after being happy with all that, it was again a bit overwhelming, so I took a break again from this build and picked it up about a week ago, I think. That's when I at least started all the furnishing, which again took me multiple days with multiple breaks to be able to finish it all. I officially finished this entire build Thursday, which was the 4th of July, so it literally took me 6 months with a lot of breaks to be happy and finished with this build. But I'm more than happy with the end result, and I don't really regret taking this much time to finish it. I really needed the time, apparently. I will most likely even never really use this myself, unfortunately, since I'm more of a builder than a player in The Sims. But I'm definitely keeping this in my save file, even if it's just to look at, just because I used that huge amount of time to finish it. I'm of course still hoping you find a nice way to use it. There's at least a lot going on here, and I did place a lot of skill building items. I, of course, as usual, forgot some of them. But I placed a lot of items that I usually won't use. So yeah, there should be enough to do here. Then again, it's quite a big lot with a lot of items, so it might also be very laggy for you. My PC can almost handle it perfectly. It has some hiccups and some glitches from time to time, depending on patches we have had. Like the last patch really did mess up the flooring, so yeah. Most of my screenshots had to be taken low enough to not be able to notice that there wasn't a ceiling. So yeah, that's really annoying, but if you don't have a strong PC, that this might be a bit laggy for you to play, but still very nice to look at. That's kind of what I use it for, just to look at. Now I can try and list all the different rooms that I made, just to give you an idea of all the activities you can do here. I'm probably gonna forget to mention some of it. But to start off with, there is a formal dining room with a grand piano and a bar area. I kind of forced to dining table, big dining tables together, so it felt like you could have a lot of guests dining here. And close to this is the kitchen, which is nice and spacious as well, with an extra breakfast table, which might be a bit nicer to use when you just want to have the household eating together. And with the kitchen there is also an entrance to the laundry room, which I just included in case you wanted to play with laundry. I don't like playing with laundry, but I like making laundry rooms. And from the kitchen you can also get to the changing room that leads to the indoor pool with indoor jacuzzi. And it plays of course a pool and a jacuzzi outside as well. I'm not sure if the jacuzzi survives rain. It's still an annoying bug, since in my opinion the jacuzzi belongs outside. But apparently it gets broken with rain unless it has been fixed. I never really tested. So there is an extra one inside if the one outside gets broken. But it really looked like nice having one outside as well. The only thing that I didn't place outside but did place inside was a toddler pool, because I simply couldn't find a nice spot for one outside. There's also showers connected to this changing room that I mentioned for the more realistic feel. I mean, you take a swim in the pool and then you take a shower. That's at least how I do it. And in the main hallway with the grand stairs up to the second floor, next to these stairs there's also one bathroom that includes one toilet and a sink. Oh, and a toddler potty of course. Further, there's of course a living room, and next to the living room there's an extra hallway. There are a lot of different entrances to this house or mansion. And in this hallway I just had to improvise a bit with what I wanted to fill it up with. So I made some more seating areas and I placed a bookcase, I think, or yeah, bookshelves, I don't know. So you could read here at least. And to this hallway there's also a small bathroom with again just a toilet and a sink. I connected it to a hobby room where you can hang out, or your creative sims can hang out and paint, and the kids can draw. There's also a tiny music room. I didn't really have much space left, but I think most of it is in there. And I made a home cinema. Upstairs there's also a study with some desks and family PCs, a football table that I never place, a game table, and even a dartboard that I always forget that exists. There's a separate playroom as well for the kids with some bigger toys items that I never really place because they are so huge. And I even had a room left and I didn't know what to do with it, so I made it a pets room and I placed a hamster here, so you might not try and forget to feed it or remove it if you don't like it, or if you don't have my first pet, then that's gone anyway. But in this room I also kind of imagined a dog and a cat. So to this room I also made an extra bathroom, one with only a bathtub to wash your dog at least, and this bath also has a sink, and I kind of made a decorative table where you could, I don't know, style your pets if you had the possibility to do that, but you don't, so it's just decorative. Further, there is also a home gym upstairs with its own bathroom and a sauna. There are a lot of bathrooms going on in this build. And then there is a bedroom, or every bedroom has his own bathroom. And I made a bedroom for a grandparent. I think you have only room for one with all these sims I had in mind, but you can do it the way you want. But a grandparent or parents, the parents, a teen, which did end up really girly, so I would say teen girl. The kids room, which is for a sport fanatic slash scientific fan, I don't know, so maybe a bit more boyish. And the toddler, which I don't know, maybe I think I had a boy in mind, but it's nice and colorful. It's not very specific. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There are also some activities outside. I did try and put in as much as possible. I did do the garage kind of another day than I did the rest, so you will find some more easels in there, because I forgot I had placed them there. because the area where I have built the cinema and all that was on my first feel I was kind of thinking to make it into a grandparents' apartment, but then I had too many bedrooms upstairs, so I moved the grandparents upstairs, which I never really liked doing because they are so slow up and down the stairs. But they are now, because I had enough room in the household, so yeah. And I was trying to cramp in a cinema before, but since I moved the grandparents upstairs, I had more room for a cinema, so I kept the cinema. So yeah, but outside, or at least the garage, still has some items. I kind of made it a storage area, so you can find your Christmas tree there if you have seasons. Again, you can store whatever you want there. And it also has the woodworking benches and the pumpkin carve station, or whatever it's called. And then the outside area has some more activities. Like I mentioned, it is the pool with another jacuzzi, which I hope doesn't break. I kind of had to improvise with the roofing above it, because I don't like roofs above pools or jacuzzis, since they don't go entirely flat. So I actually used the island living floor tiles, which kind of worked perfectly. So hopefully that kind of saves the jacuzzi, I don't know. I also placed the island living lounge chairs outside, since they match the perfect patio couches or something. And of course I had to place those floaties, because they are way too adorable to not do. And there is a basketball court outside. And since I had so much space, I made a fake tennis court. But you don't really have to keep it like that. You could also just remove all the fences and put down the water slide thing. I don't know which pack that came, but I never placed it because it's so big and clumsy to place, but eventually I have room for it. And I did make it a little grill area, because I almost forgot the grill, so that's why that area is a bit small. And there's a campfire with some seats around it. And that's also the area for the kids to play, so the swings and the monkey bars, or whatever it's called. And then there is this tiny under a roof thing that I never know what to call. It also has a dining table, a proper dining table, since on the back patio there's just a high table of dine out with bar stools, but there is an ordinary dining table outside as well with the grand piano again. And then you have, of course, the greenhouse with some pots around it, and again, decorative green lands in front of it. So you could either use it to plant stuff, or you could use it again to put down summery items like that water slide I was mentioning. I do think that's kind of all I have to mention, but I can quickly also mention what kind of packs I used for this build, because I almost used every single one of them. But you don't need all of them to be able to use this mention, or luckily. Of course, the more you own, the less you have to renovate yourselves. But I would say that the most important ones to at least get the outside structure right might be cats and dogs, especially cats and dogs. I used almost all the wallpapers from cats and dogs and a lot of windows. I also did try and use a lot of base game windows, but again, there's still a lot of cats and dogs going on. And I did use some seasons. The roof pieces above windows are seasons, I believe. And then I used Get Famous and Get Together flower boxes, I believe. The rest should kind of be replaceable. Again, if you don't have certain items in your game, then you have just more to renovate. But there is at least more than enough place to do whatever you want. As for one pack only that I do want to mention is that I did use as few items I could possibly do from Island Living, just because I couldn't really help myself to place them, but I did keep it to a bare minimum just in case you don't own just that pack. Items that I placed was of course the floaties and the lounge chairs, because the lounge chair matches the couches that I placed outside, and I of course had to use some of the shelves and shelf units. And those I kind of added after I got that expansion in my game. So yeah, but I couldn't really help myself to not place them. Also the vases, I used some vases as well, and I did place 2 counters in the home cinema, but yeah, all that is quite easily replaceable, and I didn't really see them as very important items. So if you have everything else but island living, then you should be completely safe. And if you have those packs that I mentioned, those 4 packs, first packs or expansion packs, then again you should be quite safe. And I just lost a lot of stuff pack items, really. I mean, some items might just be 1 or 2 from a pack, and then I didn't really use anything more, maybe. So yeah, you can just try and place it and see how much you have to renovate, because I don't really know which ones exactly are very important. I did also use a lot of spa day items, since those have the best looking gym items, I think, in my opinion. I like them the best. That's why I have used a lot of spa day and the spa day tiles, and yeah. And then always, of course, the stuff items for kids and toddlers, those also get used quite easily together with parenthood. And even sometimes my first pet stop, because I just like those items for kids' rooms, and now I even made a pets room, so yeah. I did use that pack as well. But again, not really important if you can furnish it the way you want to fit it your household, of course. I will try and see if I can upload this build to the gallery, both furnished and unfurnished. And it still will include a lot of packs unfurnished as well, but that's just because I used a lot of plants and all the small items from smaller packs, of course. So yeah. I don't think that's literally all I have to say about this build. I mean, it's huge. I just couldn't keep this build or this video even smaller. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this anytime soon again. Building this big. Unless it takes me 6 months again, so yeah. But I do of course hope you still like this build and enjoy this video. And if you want to download my build, you can find it under my username YoungWilder3 on the gallery. And definitely always remember to have move objects on before placing my build, because most of them you are gonna need that sheet on. So you can be sure that nothing gets removed. In this case, you are definitely gonna need it. If you would like to see more of my creations, you can always like and subscribe to my channel, or follow me on Twitter or Instagram. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!